Happy Canada Day! I'm taping this as it is Canada Day. It's not anymore when this is going to be published. Canada Day! You might have thought that I would say Canada Day but no, absolutely not. Who says that? No one says that. People say that. What does Canada Day mean to me? Well, it's not a holiday because, well, realistically, much of the year is a holiday to me. This day is like any other else. I didn't work, and I don't work a lot of the days. Like, there are no such thing as, except for Christmas, basically. Like, there's no such thing as a holiday for comics. Like, we work whenever. And so today did not feel like any sort of, like, everybody's working for the... Like, there was no sort of like, oh, thank God I need to deal with a man today kind of holiday freedom. Canada Day largely means that when I was a kid, looking back, I would go to a park or parquet and I would feast on a Canada flag cake. And it was delicious. I think that I'm generally on record with this vlog of not exactly being the biggest champion of Canada, especially its entertainment industry, which I have said is like a third world industry in a first world nation. But there are a lot of things that I really like about this country. And so I'm thinking maybe if I list some things that I like, maybe I'll fall in love. Something that I like, healthcare. It's something that I've always taken for granted as just existing. And it was something that I didn't even know wasn't a thing in the States until embarrassingly recently, like 2008 somewhere like that. I just assumed that you could go to a hospital and it would be like, this isn't my fault. Government, cover it, right? Be it a sprained wrist or genital warts happening when I was 10 years old or 21 years old. Guess which happened at which age? The answer might surprise you. It's been covered. Something I like about Canada, it is well maintained. And that is a credit to our civic services, absolutely, but it's also a credit to our citizenship. People in Canada don't litter. We don't litter. Unless you're in Alberta. Something that I like, I don't fear being shot and killed every day. Actually, I never do. Not saying that it couldn't happen, but if it did, it would be an exception to a rule. Like, oh my God, I'd make so many headlines. Something I like, not growing up attuned to racism. I am from a small town in eastern Ontario called Brockville, with a population of about 21,000. Less than 1% of that would have been not white. I don't ever remember being raised with an attitude of that is something that we need to exclude. I can never remember a prevailing attitude of like, we need to exclude that or be prejudiced against that. There may have been tokenism, but there was never a fear of the unknown. And I'm sure that this isn't true all around the country. Alberta. But it is my true experience as a Canadian. On that note, something that I had just said about Canadians not fearing what they don't know. As a gay comedian, I have toured all across the country. I was out in Newfoundland, which as far as I'm concerned is the greatest place in this country. The greatest place, the most distinct brew of people, just amazing people. If you've not been to Newfoundland, go quickly before climate change just destroys the entire place. But I did some bit about having a threesome, a homosexual threesome, and I looked into the crowd, and some duck hunting, salt and pepper haired, just Newfoundlandian without, his grade 5, if he had a grade anything, just looked back at me like, not because he was into that, but because he was not afraid of the unknown and recognized it for a ridiculous, silly scenario. He was not afraid of the unknown. And that to me is what is Canadian. That is something that I am proud to be Canadian about. I sound like a frog right now. It's just after Pride, so my mouth is like an ashtray right now. I'm sorry if I've sounded like this all night. Here are some things that are very Canadian about me. I say I'm sorry a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I say I'm sorry. I say I'm sorry a lot. I don't say a. I probably do. Something that is very Canadian about me, I talk about the weather any chance I get, anytime you're like, well, the weather this week, I'm right there with you. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, it was like colder on Monday. Well, they're saying it's going to warm up on Tuesday. I will talk about the weather any chance I get. And I think the most Canadian trait about me is that, unfortunately for my career, as much as I try, I cannot be a sociopath. And it's largely because of the stock I am from and the people I was raised of. Because my parents are the perfect example of Canadian people. They are thoroughly decent, hard-working people of character who will give anyone the benefit of the doubt. I only, unfortunately, inherited about half of those traits. Hopefully a quarter, hopefully less than that, because oh boy, that is why I'm that about sums up my pride in being a Canadian. Oh Canada, our home in England, and touch me like this, you touch me like that. It's all coming back to me, all coming back to me now. Why you have to go and make things so complicated? Constant craving. I had a good mother, and her voice is what keeps me here. Building a mystery. I don't know any male Canadian artists. I'm sorry.